Jeff Nippard's got 7 super science exercises that nobody does. We're going to go through these 7 exercises today. I got my pre-workout here because I'm getting ready for the gym. Okay, so we're going to go through these exercises. We're going to see how many of these 7 exercises do I do, right? And maybe I'll pick one up. I'm thinking if they're good exercises, I probably do all of them. But let me know down in the comments, how many do you think that I do? And don't you say 0. Don't say 0. Don't say 0. All right. Anyways, let's get into it. Let's check out Mr. Jeffrey's exercises of science.
Most people do the same few exercises over and over again, and there's nothing wrong with that.
But it can make your workouts feel stale. So today, I'm going to share 7 exercises that you've probably never heard of.
They aren't gimmicky optimal tricks either. These are time-tested movements with scientific support.
He's looking real. Oh, geez, he's looking lean. By the way, look at these lat veins. My goodness, that's what I'm trying to get. I want to get some lat veins. That's nice. That is nice.
Only do every week, and I think you should too.
We'll start with a few that are a bit more common, and then as we go, they'll get more and more obscure. So I'd say most of you probably have done exercise 1 at some point, but I bet less than 1% of you have ever even seen exercise 7. I think they're all worth doing.
I do it.
Just remember that training hard and training consistently matters more than the exact exercises you pick.
Okay, the first exercise.
You know what? That is big true. I think people do. Well, okay. It's true and it's not true. I think that people get caught up a lot in the exercise selection thing. When it comes to small things like, should I be doing a press on the Smith machine, or should I be doing it on the flat bench or on the free weight bench? And I think that kind of exercise selection doesn't really matter too much, but I think a lot of people don't do deadlifts. Okay, I'm just going to throw that out there. I think most people don't do deadlifts, and I know why. It's because they suck and they're hard. So I think exercise selection is really important when it comes to these big things. But yeah, a lot of people kind of nitpicky about the
exercise is a simple way to improve your shoulder health, grow your forearms, increase core strength, decompress your spine, and improve muscular endurance. It's a dead hang.
And if you've never tested your max dead hang time, try it out next time you go to the gym. I actually just tested my own max time after coaching my friend Majd in a Mr. Beast challenge where he'd win $1,000 for every second he could dead hang.
Every second you can hang, I will give you $1,000.
Get out of here.
He started with a max dead hang time of just 6 seconds, and we got him up to 60 seconds in just 30 days, meaning he won 60 grand for that challenge. And I just tested it myself, and my max time was...
Okay, 2 minutes and 45 seconds.
Okay, all right. So the first exercise, dead hangs. The first exercise is dangling from a bar, doing nothing. Okay. Do I do this exercise? Well, yes and no. Have I ever timed? I have timed my 1 rep max of dead hang, seeing how long I can stay on the bar. I do a lot in between sets where I hang from the bar in between sets to decompress my spine. But you know what? From an exercise standpoint, no, I don't do dead hangs. Okay, I'm 0 for 1 so far.
Is that right? Because it really didn't feel that long.
Now, for some context, this is what a beginner, intermediate, advanced, elite...
I haven't really done that since the military. So there's some random challenges, or just some competition between the boys, seeing who can hang on the bar the longest. And whoever falls off first gets punched in the gut. But no, I don't really train this, unfortunately.
And world-class dead hang time looks like. This is the dead hang world record. So I'm advanced.
80 minutes?
Not
I could
quite
probably
elite.
do
Dead hangs
69
can open up
minutes.
the shoulder joint, allowing the tendons and muscles of the rotator cuff to move more freely, which can help with shoulder pain. And if your back is feeling stiff from sitting all day, you'll get some spinal decompression too.
The scientific evidence on this is a bit more mixed, but I personally get a lot of relief from it, especially in the days following heavy squats or deadlifts.
First, chalk your hands and buy some cheap liquid chalk if your gym doesn't have
alright.
it. Side shoulder
Alright,
width.
you chalk it
Heave
up
too
and you hang
quickly
from the
once you
bar.
start.
Okay,
For
yeah.
max time, compression at
I
chow
don't think we really
down
need,
helps keep me from swinging. From there, just focus on keeping a consistent breathing rhythm.
And
think we get
use the hashtag
we
Jeff
can move
Nipper
on to the
Dead
next
Hang. It makes it just a little more effective, at least in theory. I call it the Zotman Hammer Curl, named after 1800 strongman George Zotman. I just modified it a bit.
Here's the idea. With a regular curl, maybe you can lift 20 pounds on the way up, but you could easily control 40 pounds on the way back down. That's because you're about 40 or 50% stronger on the negative than you are on the positive. So with a standard dumbbell curl, you're always overloading the positive more than the negative. The negative never gets fully challenged. But since the negative is crucial for muscle growth, I think it makes a lot of sense to overload it to its full potential. One way to do that is to curl the weight up on your own and then have a partner apply extra resistance on the negative. But that feels awkward.
So instead, what you can do is use simple biomechanics to make the weight effectively heavier on the negative. Here's what you do.
Curl the weight up with a hammer grip and then lower the weight back down with a palms up supinated grip. By using a hammer grip on the positive, your brachialis and brachioradialis can come in and help out, and then when you switch to the supinated grip on the negative, your biceps are forced to take the load. For technique,
Okay, all right. Okay, so weird Zotman curls. You know what? I'm going to say, I think doing them
when you
like
switch to
that,
the
I feel like a
supinated
lot of
grip on
people
the
have done
negative,
that,
your
right?
biceps are forced to take the load.
I feel like that's
For
pretty
technique,
common.
Grip the dumbbell
Yeah,
in the
because
middle
most
of the
people are a little bit stronger in a hammer curl, so hammer curl it up, bring it back down, supinated on negative. But I don't do these regularly, so I guess no. But I do something that I do something that I think is even better than this, which is doing a concentration curl. So you just got like dumbbell one arm, and then just basically assist it on the way up with your other hand, your offhand, and then get the full negative on the way down. So I would say, in a sense, my Zotman curls are more accurate to the traditional Zotman curl than Jeff Nippard's is. So I think that he actually doesn't even do it, and I do. So we're gonna go 1 out of 7, or
the handle.
so far.
Don't let your
1 out
thumb
of
rest
2.
up against the head of the dumbbell and curl the weight up,
I'm 1 for 2, Jeffrey.
stopping just before your arm is vertical. Then rotate your palms up and lower the weight back down under control, sweeping the weight out in a wide arc. Once you reach the bottom, rotate your palms back into the hammer grip, curl the weight back up again, and repeat. I usually do these
That's a
for
face.
8 to 10 reps. And while I don't think this technique will put inches on your arms compared to standard dumbbell curls,
I don't know if even curls do anything. What does add inches around your arms? There's only one thing that I know of, and it's eating gobs of food. You got to eat your kibbles, okay? You got to eat your food. You got to eat your Wheaties. If you're not doing that, if you're not eating, nothing is gonna like just add size to your arms. Okay, you're not just gonna get big arms by doing exercises and not eating. So what if you are eating? Okay, so if you are eating a lot, what types of curls will help you build muscle? I think it's almost anything. I really do. I think getting nitpicky about the thises and that's of this one has 2% more activation on the supinatal head. I don't know if that matters.
I do think it's an effective variation that makes a lot of biomechanical sense. Now, if you prefer old school dumbbell curl,
All right.
we've only hit dead hangs and Zotman
Number 3,
hammer
what do we got
curls.
here?
The next 5 are definitely more obscure.
Okay, this next exercise I've been doing every week all year, and I absolutely love it for the side delts. It takes a standard dumbbell lateral raise and makes it feel a lot better, at least for me. It's the incline dumbbell Y raise.
Now, I've covered the tension profile of the standard dumbbell lateral raise
I do
before,
these.
but here's a quick refresher. Because gravity pulls straight down, there's 0 tension on your delts at the bottom, and peak tension doesn't hit until the very top. Now, that's not necessarily a problem. In fact, new research shows that dumbbell laterals can still grow your side delts just fine, as long as you train them hard.
But
See again. Okay, so we got the study for lateral raises. So basically, what the study's saying is that just basically anything works as long as you do it hard.
I still
crazy.
don't like having such a lopsided tension profile. I find it harder to connect with my side delts when I'm only getting enough tension in such a small aspect of the range of motion. So that's where the incline dumbbell Y-raise comes in.
Set up a bench at a roughly 20 to 30 degree incline. It should feel like you're leaning pretty far back. Brace your upper back against the bench and lift your chest up. With the dumbbells at your sides, lift them up and out in a Y.
Yeah,
Think about
yeah, these are pretty
squeezing your
solid. I've done these. I don't do it with that drastic, like that leaned back. I do them slightly more upright. So a little bit more upright. But yeah, I do them like that. Sometimes, again, I don't really feel it too much of a difference if I do those or just standing or really I like to bend forward a little bit as well, like lean forward and maybe even put my chest like on the top of the bench so that I can kind of get a chest supported lateral raise that way. But
side delt fibers together
whatever floats your boat, you know.
to move the weight up, and then feel them stretch apart on the way down. Once you get to the point where the dumbbells are back at your sides, start your next rep. So don't let the dumbbells swing all the way back until they're hanging vertically,
Whoa, I feel attacked right now. What's up with this?
because again, you'll lose that tension. So stop once you get to your sides, just like you would when standing. And by
What's
lifting
wrong
the
with the guy
dumbbells
on the
up
right?
and out in a Y, you'll hit the fibers in between the front and side heads, which adds a lot of shape to your shoulders, especially from the front. And while lifting
Very
straight
nice.
out to the side is generally safe, a lot of people do find that their shoulders feel more comfortable when they lift in the scapular plane about 30 degrees to the front. So give them a shot the next time you hit shoulders. I think you'll love the feel of them.
Okay, now we're getting a little bit more obscure.
Okay, so that's 3 exercises so far. That last one, I don't do those super often, but I would say that I do them, right? So I think we are out of 3 exercises so far. I'm 2 out of 3 for doing the exercises that nobody does that are all S tier, which actually I don't think that any of them are S tier yet. Maybe there's going to be more in here that are S tier. Maybe the bicep one, maybe, because almost everything is S tier for bicep. Yeah, we'll see what happens with these more ridiculous exercises. Let's get going with it, Jeffrey.
So I don't think I've seen many people do this one outside of my audience. It's the sideways facing one arm rear delt fly on the pec deck machine.
First, I should explain why it is that I like them so much. It's really because this is the only way to get a full range of motion for your rear delts on this machine. When you do them the traditional way, what you're really doing are half reps in a shortened position. The muscle never gets lengthened at all. It'd be like doing bicep curls in the top half only.
Okay, first off, I like this version of Jeff. Okay, muscle, I don't know if it's musclehead or meathead Jeff, minus the shorts. I like this Jeff, okay? I think he looks cool. That being said, basically everybody does these. I see people doing these all the time now. Maybe it's just because Jeff made them, I don't know, he made them popular or somebody else did, but I see a lot of people doing these, myself included. I do them sometimes. To be honest, I don't think they're really like that much better than doing them both at the same time. I don't think that for me, when I do them one at a time, it's not necessarily that I feel like the range of motion is better. Like that's not necessarily why I do them one at a time. When I do it one at a time, it's so that I can really focus on just that one delt. Okay, just that one rear deltoid that I'm thinking about, because I feel like 2, is a lot going on at one time. Maybe, it's because I'm just stupid, maybe. But if I just do the one, it's all I'm thinking about. I can just focus on that one delt, good stretch, good contraction, doesn't really matter. I mean, even just doing one, without even weight on it, I can get a good pump right now. But I don't know, doing them both at the same time, I just don't like it as much. So yeah, I do like these, and these I would agree. I would put these in the S tier, but I do not think these are an exercise that nobody does. And so far, I'm 3 for 4, Jeff. Come on. Hit me with some hard balls here.
Nobody would consider that optimal, yet that's exactly how most people treat the reverse pec deck. The rear delts don't get anywhere close to a stretched position until you reach across your body. So that's why I do them this way. The technique is pretty simple too. Instead of sitting down and facing the pad as normal, you turn sideways and sweep your arm out across your body. The cue I picked up from Dr. Mike is to think about there being a big pile of money on the ground, and however much area you can cover is how much money you get to keep. This will help you sweep the weight out with your rear delts rather than yanking the weight back with your back.
I think this guy gets gains. I really do. He like just even watching him exercise just
This
a
will help
couple
you
reps.
sweep the weight out with your rear delts
Watch
rather
this.
than yanking the weight.
Okay. Look at this.
Being a
We're
big
going
pile
from-
of money on the ground,
Watch
and
this
however
rep.
much area you can cover
No
is how
energy.
much money you get.
I'm uninspired. I'm uninspired right now.
To keep.
Okay. Now
This will help you sweep the
wait.
weight out with your
wait.
rear delts rather than yanking the weight back
Look
with
at
your
this
back
guy.
and biceps.
dude,
Obviously, you
he's
don't
getting it. He's getting after it. Okay. I want to go work out with this guy. I would ask to work in with this dude.
need to go
Yo,
all the way around. Now, if you
Spot
don't
me,
have
brother.
a pec deck machine,
look.
back with your back and biceps. Obviously, you don't need to go all the way around. Now, if you don't have a pec deck
The guy likes to party. Okay.
machine, you can still get the job done with cables. Just make sure that you still reach your arms across your body for the
This
full
is
rear delts
also,
rep. And if you
I
only
would
have
say, an
dumbbells,
S tier
all you need
one,
to do
not
is
S
lie down.
tier. This is Z tier or L tier. Goofy.
Down on a bench, stretch the dumbbell across your.
Doing them cross with the cables though, that is nice. Okay, that is a nice. You can get a really deep stretch, really nice contraction, very
body
solid.
and lift it back up. It's not that I think this super deep stretch is going to suddenly double your gains, but I do think that if you're completely missing the stretched aspect on all your rear delt work, you probably are leaving some gains on the table. So try these out.
Yeah, that's another good point. Is that I think it's great to have a little bit of everything, right? I think it's good to do cool Jeff versions, the short like partials, right? You want to do some slow ones where, you sit weird sideways on the bench and, you get a nice deep stretch and a good contraction. Or you want to get, do 2 at once. I think it's great to do a little bit of everything. I think the worst thing you can do is just only do one and be like, this is the GOAT. I'm not doing anything else.
Let me know what you think. All right, let's go even deeper. The next few exercises on here do get a little
Okay, we're not looking good. We are not looking good for exercises that nobody does. I'm 3 out of 4.
wild, but like I said, I do all 7 of them, and I think they're all super underrated.
Okay, next one is a pretty uncommon ab exercise that I've been doing every week on my cut so
Okay, he said, it's not looking good so far because he says he does this it's an ab exercise. That right there, it's likely that I don't do it because I do not do abs. But that's 201 pounds or 203, whatever. But I also spent years and years in the military doing, hundreds or even, I don't know, add them all up, thousands of crunches and sit-ups and stuff. But I don't work abs anymore. So the thing is, I'm more of like a Vince Gironda mentality when it comes to working out your abs, in that I don't do them because I don't want to make them bigger. So does it make them bigger? Does it make them not bigger? I don't know. I think that's another thing that nobody really knows for sure. Does working out your abs make them bigger, or does it make them tighter? I don't know.
far. Dragon flags.
It is
Yeah, I
a
don't
classic,
do
though,
these.
and it was actually Bruce Lee's go-to move for building up his incredible core strength. They'll hit your lower abs the hardest since you're lifting your legs up, but your entire six-pack has to contract isometrically to keep your spine extended. Actually,
I am most likely too fat to do these now. I am probably too fat to do them, but in honor of Mr. Jeff and because he made this video for us, I'm gonna try these. I'm gonna try these today, and if they go poorly, I will not tell you how they went.
the first time I did these, my upper abs were so sore. I was still sore, I think 5 or 6 days after I hit them. So
That's
don't say I
crazy.
didn't warn you. On top of that, your
Yeah, that
obliques
looks
come in.
That looks really painful. That is insane.
For stability, and your serratus muscles anchor your back and shoulders in place. You also get some lat activation here, and man, it just lights your entire core up. For the technique, grab onto the top of a bench, and with straight hips
I'm actually paying attention here because I'm going to do these.
and straight knees, lift your entire body, including your glutes, up off the bench until your legs are at a roughly 60 to 80 degree angle. Then, while keeping your hips straight, lower your legs back down under control and repeat that for 4 to 8 reps or however many you can get. Now,
That looks
fair
that looks
warning,
awful.
this one is a lot harder than it looks. So if you're new to it, I'd start with lying leg raises. Just lie flat on your back and lift your legs
gonna
up
do that.
while bracing your core. Once you can do that for 8 to 10 reps, move on to a bent knee dragon flag. This is quite a lot easier than the full dragon flag. Bending your knees shortens the lever arm.
You know what I used to do a lot is those the ab wheels. Nobody does the ab wheel anymore, but I used to go ham on the ab wheel, especially when I was deployed. Used to do that thing all the time. And I used to be able to do from the toes all the way out on the ab wheel, fully extended. That was some crazy core control there, and that was probably 155, 160 pounds as well. So I was a lot lighter. I was so lean on that deployment. I was, I was eating very clean, but not a lot. Not eating very much. I didn't really know about dieting. I just knew at that point. I just knew like what foods were healthy, but I didn't know about like tracking your calories and maintenance and like bulking and cutting and everything. I just thought that if I ate a lot, I would be fine, and I wasn't. But I used to go crazy with the good food, and I went to the gym twice a day, and I used to do like sprints and running and stuff in between the gym. So I was like insanely high activity level. I got stupid lean. I was so fast. I could run a 5K like nothing. I would not even break a sweat. But yeah, crazy. I'm going to try these.
Which makes it a lot easier on your abs. Once you hit 8 to 10 reps of those, you should be ready to ease into full-blown dragon flags. I've been doing these more than hanging leg raises lately
Let me know down in the comments. Do you think I'm too fat to do these or no?
because with hanging leg raises, you don't have anything to stabilize your torso, and so it's tricky to avoid swinging back and forth. That instability then limits the tension that you can direct into your abs.
A Roman chair fixes most of this, but your back, arms, and shoulders still have to hold your body weight up. A dragon flag solves those issues.
But honestly, when it comes to abs, the most important thing is your diet. You'll need to get down to around 10 to 12% body fat as a male and around 20% as a female. So before we get to exercise 6
Calories are sexist. You heard it here first.
and 7,
Okay, so out of 5, I am 3 out of 5. I do. Where are you at? Tell me down in the comments where you at so far. You better not be at 0 out of 5.
let me quickly show you
If you are, there's still time to redeem yourself. There's 2 more, so we'll see what happens.
how to get from 20% to 10%, like I did this year, using my Smart Nutrition app, Macro Factor. All you need to do is download a free trial on the App Store or Google Play, and then the app will take you through a quick series of questions to learn about you, your goals, and your nutritional preferences. Then, our metabolic rate equations will use that info from your questionnaire to get a picture of your specific metabolism right away and set up a nutrition plan specifically for you. From there,
I don't use this app. I just use what's the one? MyFitnessPal. Real basic. It's free, but I pay, there's a paid version of it that I use. I think the only difference is that you get the calorie split when you have the paid version, the pro version or whatever. But you can get away without it. But I'm sure Jeff's app is great too.
all you need to do is log your weight and track what you eat, and then each week going forward, the app will do a full check-in with you, just like a coach would. So it'll update your nutrition based on any changes to your metabolism every week. Then it'll tell you exactly how much
Jeff, if somehow you see this and you want to give me a referral code to your app, I'm down. Let's do it.
weight you've lost and how much weight you have left to lose to get to your goal body fat.
I've been using the app to run my own cut all year, and if you're ready to start yourself,
Why is his chair
Lose
so
to get to your
low?
goal body fat.
I've been using the app
I feel like he's really low at the table. Am I crazy?
To run my own cut all year. And if you're ready to start yourself, I'll put a link to a free trial in the description box below, or you can scan this QR code on screen. Just make sure you use code Jeff when you download, and that'll get you 2 weeks for free. Okay, this next one is one of the most underrated back builders out there, and most people have probably never.
Okay, what do we got here? And any guesses? I don't even know. Judging by the picture, it's probably going to be I think it's going to be some sort of weird shrug variation where you lay on a bench.
Never heard of it. It's called the Kelso shrug.
And it's amazing for back thickness because it completely isolates your mid traps and rhomboids without fatiguing your lower back or involving your biceps. Now, despite the name, it really is more like a row than a shrug. With a standard row, you bend your elbows and squeeze your back together at the same time. But with the Kelso shrug, your elbows stay locked and you completely isolate the back squeeze. That's what makes it so effective. When you think about it, during a row, all of this motion at your arms isn't doing anything for your back. This part is all biceps. Research shows that while rows do grow your biceps to some extent, curls grow them about twice as well. And since your biceps are obviously much smaller than your back, they will eventually limit the amount of tension that your back gets on a row. That's why, after you hit failure on a normal row, you could probably crank out another 4 or 5 Kelso shrugs. That should tell you that your biceps may have hit failure, your rear delts may have hit.
Okay, I hate to say it, but I got a few points of disagreement here with Jeff. Okay, first I want to touch on the biceps limiting the row. If your biceps are limiting the amount of weight that you're doing on your row, or like your biceps are giving out first on your row, you are likely rowing incorrectly. Okay, you should be able to row an enormous amount of weight, especially if you do like bent over, and you know your biceps are going to engage. But I think if your biceps are giving out, it's because you're pulling from here. Okay, and the thing is, when you're pulling on a row, you want to pull with your elbows. Okay, you want to focus on essentially your elbow, like using your lat to pull your elbow behind you. Okay, and when you're like I can do that without even flexing my bicep at all. Really, the only thing that your arm should be doing is just holding on to the dang thing, right? You should just be gripping onto that bar, as hard as you can, and it's your elbow that's coming behind you. And then there's the whole matter of Kelso shrugs. I think that, when he says they're effective, here's my opinion. I think they might be effective at the physical action of stretching your traps and being able to being like a weird isolation exercise for your traps. In my opinion, I don't think these are going to really do anything for building your traps unless you were to do some sort of enormous load, some sort of very heavy weight, like lots more plates than that, right? Like much more than you could row. In my opinion, the shrugs are not really going to build your upper back in the same way that doing a deadlift or a farmer's carry or a trap bar deadlift or a rack pull could do. I think all those are going to be much, much better for building your upper back. And I've done tons of rows over the years. I've done shrugs. I've done all types of crazy stuff. Nothing gets my traps sore like a really good 3x8 of deadlift followed up by some heavy rack pulls. That's the only thing that will absolutely rip my upper back so that it is like pumped and sore the next day. But I don't know, maybe that's just me. Everybody's a little different. So if they, give them a try. Try them. If they work for you, fantastic. Truly.
Failure, but your mid-back probably didn't. So for the Kelso technique, load up a chest-supported T-bar row machine, brace your chest against the
Yeah, I don't even have a T-bar row at my gym. I wish I did.
Pad, and take a fairly wide grip, around 1.5 times shoulder width. Unrack the weight, and with completely locked arms, squeeze your shoulder blades together as hard as you can. Pause for about 1 second at the top, and then let your shoulder blades peel apart on the negative.
Okay, I want you to look at this picture. You see the way that his shoulder blades are protracted forward like that? What I want you to try is the next time you're doing a deadlift, I want you to, what screwed me up in deadlifting for years was, focusing so much on like having this super like shoulders back, upright, perfect posture that it just handicapped my conventional deadlift. Try doing a deadlift where your shoulders are forward like that, and you will get a crazy stretch. And you'll be able to do a little bit more weight because that's free distance, right? That's free. Like every little bit, every inch, you can kind of push your shoulders forward. That's a little bit more that you can be upright and be able to pick up a little bit more weight.
If you're doing it right, the weight should only move about 4 or 5 inches. This may not feel like enough at first, but that's because
4
you're
or
used
5
to doing
inches.
rows where most of the range of motion is coming from the biceps and the lats. But when you actually isolate the mid-back, this is what the full range of motion looks like. Now, of course, I still think rows are a fantastic overall back developer, but if I'm trying to isolate mid-back thickness specifically, Kelso shrugs are one of my main go-tos. And by the way, if you don't have a T-bar row machine, you can do the same basic thing by bracing against an incline bench and using dumbbells.
All right, let's finish with the least known
Okay. All right. So let's see where we're at so far. We've gone through 6, and I was at 3. I think I'm 3 out of 6. Okay, so 50% so far of exercises that nobody does. Not bad. Not bad. I guess 7 will be the tiebreaker. So here we'll find out, do I do at least half of exercises that are all S tier that nobody
Exercise on my list.
does? We
This
will
is
see.
this.
Also, again, speaking of S tier, Kelso shrugs, I don't think that's S tier. I think deadlifts, I don't think it's S tier. Maybe B or A. S is a little aggressive.
Seated cable deadlift.
I think this is an awesome glute and hamstring exercise, and I have no idea why more people don't do it. I know it looked
Okay, I definitely don't do these because these are silly. I've seen. All right, no, we don't need to be doing these. Okay, this is too much. This has gone too far. No, we don't need to be. Why would you do cable? Why? Just why is all I want to know. Why would you do deadlifts on a cable when there's so many other options? Like you're all flippity floppity, loosey goosey. You can't even get it like a direct line of pull like through the center of your foot. So it's more of like a Romanian deadlift. What are
gimmicky,
we doing
but
here?
Hear me out. Obviously, barbell deadlifts are great for building total body strength, and I personally do barbell Romanian deadlifts every single week. But sometimes
Okay.
you need an exercise that activates your glutes and hams without the same fatigue demand that comes with a heavy barbell lift. That's where the seated cable deadlift comes in. Because your hips are fixed, with your glutes planted on the bench, you're a lot more stable, and you won't fry your back, core, and quads nearly as much. If you do them right, you'll get a glute pump like you've never felt before. Okay, for technique on these, take a grip just outside shoulder width.
I really don't want to, but I hate to say it. I'm willing to give these a try. But to answer the question, no, I do not do these. I have not done these. I've seen some people do them on Instagram. But you know what? I'm judging. Right? I'm being a little judgmental so far in this, and I was very quick to say that I think these are goofy. But you know what? I've never done them, and if I'm being, I think it's good to be fair and be objective. So you know what? I'm not going to pass judgment because I've never done these. So as much as I don't like the way they look, and I don't want anyone else to see me doing these in the gym either. Like I wouldn't want any of my friends to walk in the gym and see me doing these on the cable machine. I will try them the next time the gym is empty, and I will report back.
And plant your feet on the platform with your toes pointed slightly out to engage the glutes. While keeping a tall chest, squat the weight up, and then extend your hips to a full body lockout position. This is where your glutes should stay planted throughout the set. From there, begin your first rep by unlocking your hips and knees, lowering the bar while keeping it in as tight to your body as feels comfortable. You can actually go quite a bit lower here though, since there aren't any plates to limit your range of motion. So go as low as you can without allowing your lower back to round. For me, that's right around my ankles. From there, squeeze your glutes hard to extend your hips, keep your
Squeeze
shoulders
'em.
back and your chest up.
You know, and to be fair, Jeff's got a pair of glutes on him, so he would know. His traps are not the greatest, but you know, it must be somebody's birthday because he's always bringing the cake, if you know what I mean. He's packing the glutes.
As you complete the lockout. Remember, this isn't a row, it's a deadlift, so you shouldn't be yanking with your arms.
It's
Use your
not a
glutes to move the weight. I find a big glute squeeze at the very
All right, okay. I think we got any more. Okay, more app. I wish genuine success on his app. Okay, 3 out of 7 doing exercises that no one does. But you know what? I'm glad that I watched this video because I walked away with a couple exercises that I'm going to try. Okay, one that I would try in a crowded gym, and one that I would only try in a completely empty gym. So pretty stoked. And anyways, if you enjoyed the video, thanks for hanging out. I'm glad you enjoyed it. And let me know down in the comments how many of these did you do? Okay. Was it 0? Was it 0? If it was, you need to go do all of these right meow. All right. Anyways, I'll see you guys in the next video. Have a great day.